Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego, and today it's Sex in the City time. Okay, it's time to talk about some more Sex in the City because we're gonna get through this damn show all the way to the end, nonstop. All right, so yes, it has been a joy to review these episodes again. Kind of going back in time a little bit, reliving my youth, so to say. When these episodes first aired, I remember where I was at that time, and at this time. This episode that we're going to talk about today is season 3, episode 3. The title is called Attack of the 5'10" Woman. Okay, it's a play on Attack of the 50-foot Woman, but you probably already knew that. Okay, when this episode aired, I remember I was still in the Marines, but I wasn't active duty anymore. I was really living the civilian life. I was just checking in one weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer. Okay, and so I was very new to everything. I've been on a base, okay, in North Carolina, okay, for 4 years. All right, now I got let out. Now I'm out there like in Chicago in a big city, lots of people. There's women everywhere. I was just like, it's just insane. And I was working. I was working in downtown Chicago, and I was working with a lot of other people that were around my age. Like we were in our 20s. I was in my early 20s, and I worked with a lot of actresses and actors and models, and we all worked together and stuff, and a lot of bartenders. The food and beverage industry. And we all did like theater and stuff. And I worked with a lot of gay guys too. Yeah, a lot of gay guys there as well. And so, we would talk about this show. We would talk about these episodes. And I remember when season 3 premiered, everyone was excited. Like the next day after episode 1 of season 3 aired on HBO, the next day at work, that's what all the girls and all the gay guys were talking about was the premiere of season 3. And so I figured out with the show. By this time, I was getting caught up on the show. So I watched it too. Like yeah, it's a pretty good show. I was invested, and that's what I am right now. I'm invested. Okay, I'm back invested in the show again. I'm understanding the characters a lot better now. I know what they're going to do before they do it. That kind of thing. So I've kind of figured them out. I know about the pacing of the show. I see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to mix the drama with the comedy and all that. So I get it. So yeah, so I was definitely I mean, I'm not the demographic because I'm a straight guy, okay? But I was in that area of the girls that were watching this show, okay? The girls in their 20s were watching this show, okay? And even though it was about women in their 30s and 40s, it was women in their 20s that were watching this show. They're addicted to it, And I was too. So like I said, I like the show. I didn't think it was realistic, and that's why I do this show, Straight Man's Point of View, because I want you to know exactly what it's like from a straight man's point of view, to tell you what's realistic, what's not realistic. Like I said, the show wasn't written for me. Okay, it was written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. They wrote this show. Okay, and they based it on a book on a woman who slept with half the guys in New York. All right, so this is all from their point of view. I'm not represented here. Okay, they didn't make this show for me. All right. There was plenty of other shows on TV for me. Like there was Sopranos, which I watched religiously. Sopranos, that was a show I really loved. I might do a review of that, although that would take forever. But then again, this is taking forever, so who knows? I might do Sopranos review too. Yeah, and I'm gonna start reviewing some chick flicks as well because this is fun. I love doing this. I love popping y'all's balloon bubble, on these fucking chick flicks and rom-com. That's what this show is. It was a weekly chick flick, is what it was. All right. So to start off with here, we'll start with the review. Season 3, episode 3, Attack of the 5'10" Woman. Okay, Sex in the City. All right, so it starts off with they're having brunch. All right, which I guess is a thing. I remember living in Chicago. A lot of people had brunch. Okay, sorry, I had to make it a little bit lighter in here. A lot of people had brunch. When I worked in restaurants, we used to serve brunch on Sundays. So a lot of drinking, a lot of mimosas. A lot of reading the newspaper, that kind of thing. And that's what they're doing here. Okay, so the four of them are all sitting around having brunch, drinking their mimosas, and talking about, basically shitting on men, how men are all stupid and men are all this and men are all that. That kind of thing, like they usually do. Okay, and they're reading the New York Times. Charlotte's reading the New York Times out to everybody. And she's looking at the wedding section because that's like the sports section for women, I guess. They talk about who's getting married, how they met. Because I guess it used to be a thing. I don't know. I've never been married. But it used to be a thing where they had like in the newspaper, they would like write the whole story of how somebody met. Like the whole romance. Like a little short story of how they met, how they fell in love, blah, 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 what they do for a living, that kind of thing. And I was like, well, that's kind of stupid. Why would you do that? But I guess if you have the money and you're rich, you want the whole fucking world, or at least the whole city needs to know how you met, how you fell in love, what you do for a living, how successful you are. I mean, the fact that you can afford to get your own little fucking bio love story printed in the New York Times means that you've got money. All right. And that's what they're doing. They're looking at all the rich weddings. That's what Charlotte's doing. Okay. And they're one of the things that Charlotte mentioned, like, well, you have a boyfriend, so you don't have to worry about getting married. You already have a boyfriend. And it's true. Who would have thought that out of the 4 women that are here, Miranda's the only one with a boyfriend? Miranda, no less. Ugh. Okay, but yeah, so they're talking. She's like, hey, you know what? I'm not married. It just means I'm getting laid. That's all. Yeah, very romantic, huh? Well, that's fine. That's fine. Because, we all know Steve's the romantic one, not Miranda, because that's how it is in real life. Okay. So that's going on there. Miranda's like, talking about how disgusting it is because they're reading these stories here, the wedding section, and these stories are all basically the same story. It's a woman. She's got a successful career because she's rich, and then she meets a guy with a number after his last name, and then she gives up her career, and he just supports her. Okay, and Miranda has issue with that. Hey, I got issue with that too. But Miranda's got issue with that. Go, oh my God, so that means that if you put a rock on my hand, all of a sudden I have to give up my career? Well, no. To be honest with you, ladies out there, okay, this isn't the 1930s and this isn't the 1950s. I left out the 40s because that was World War II. Okay, people in my generation, people my age, okay, those of you out there that are my age, okay, goddamn well, okay, that we grew up, most of us grew up with divorced households, okay? Most of us grew up with single moms, okay, with moms working, okay? Most people in our generation, okay, did not have moms that stayed at home, okay? Unless you were super rich, okay? Unless the dad made enough money that the mom didn't have to work and she didn't want to work, okay? So she just stayed home all day and took care of the kids, cooked the dinner, okay? That shit sounds great, but that was like the 1950s, okay? That shit hasn't gone on for a long fucking time, all right? And it wasn't going on back then either, okay? Most of us grew up with our moms working. Okay, they weren't sitting at home watching soap operas all fucking day like it was the 1950s. Okay, they were working out there. Okay, supporting us, supporting the family. All right. So this whole idea about women have to give up their careers once they get married, that's a very outdated idea. Women don't do that anymore. Okay, and they sure as fuck weren't doing it back then. Maybe some of them were, but that was not the standard and it wasn't the norm. Okay, it's definitely not the norm now. Okay, women work, and you know what, ladies, us guys, we want you to work. Okay, we don't want to, ever since the rise of feminism, first wave feminism, second wave feminism, not first wave, not third wave feminism, it is easier, to manage a household when 2 people are working instead of 1. It is, so, it's like, if you're working, you're contributing to the family just like the dad is, okay? That doesn't mean you have to do all the work. No, of course not. It's got to be a partnership, especially when there are kids involved. You have to take turns taking care of the kids. You have to provide, care for the children. You have to spend time with them, That's called being a fucking parent, You got to give up a lot of your selfishness when you're a parent. Okay, I learned that the hard way, all right? But it doesn't mean that, that the wife has to give up her career, give up her job just because she's a mom. She doesn't have to do that. In fact, we don't even want women to do that, okay? The whole idea, like, no wife of mine is ever going to work is bullshit, okay? That's like fucking All in the Family Archie Bunker shit from that's 50 fucking years ago. It ain't that way anymore, okay? Men don't care if women work, okay? We want you to work. We want you to fucking do something, okay? We want you to fucking do something that makes you happy, that you can get paid for, We don't want the entire burden to be on us either. So it's like no. The whole idea that men don't want women to work and it's such a patriarchy, it's all bullshit. Maybe it was that way back in the 50s. I don't know because none of us were alive back then, okay? But that's just what we heard, okay? But it's definitely not that way now. All right, so give that shit up about, men just want to work, women get work. They give it up for a man. Well, women do that because they don't want to work. Shit, man, if I could marry a rich woman and not have to work, do you really think I'm going to fucking go into my job that I fucking hate for 12 hours a day? If I marry some rich woman, fuck no. I'm gonna fucking stay home. Of course not. It's just like little women do. Come on, you some model, some model, amongst hundreds of thousands of models. They're all trying to be the next, where the fuck is out there, I don't know who the fuck's famous right now, but they're all trying to be her. Okay, how many of them are going to make it? Not very many. Okay, so what do you think the rest of the girls are going to do? Okay, well, that's all they've been doing for the past 5 years. They dropped out of school for this shit. Okay, well, what are they going to do? You know what they're going to do? They're going to marry a fucking rich guy. That's what they're going to fucking do. So they don't have to worry about that shit. So they don't have to go to the unemployment line. Okay, why do you think that fucking shit happens? Let me tell you something. That's dying out right now. That's dying. That's starting to die out. Like within 2 generations, you ain't gonna see that shit no more. But women marrying rich men, that ain't gonna happen anymore. It's gonna be all convoluted now. But anyway, but we're probably not gonna live to see that. Okay, but anyway, so that's going on here. They're talking about it here. Samantha says, like, you know, the Roman numeral guys, you know, the guys that have a number at the end of their name. You know, I guess that means that they're rich. You know, it usually does. You know, Samantha says, oh, the higher the number, the worse they are in bed. Because everything relates to sex to her. You know, I once dated a guy whose last name was the third, and he sucked in bed. You know, and Miranda says, like, what about King Henry VIII? You know, and then, of course, you know, Carrie said, like, yeah, after you give him head, he takes off your head. Well, that's way, way old school, okay? And most of us are not King Henry VIII, okay? King Henry VIII was like the fucking guy of his time, okay? Guy fucking pretty much ruled the world, all right? So Charlotte says that, she says that her, you know, she's trying to find a husband. That's why she's looking at these wedding stories, you know, and she's like, she can't find a guy, you know, like all the guys in her spinning class, they're all gay. Well, no shit, okay? Not yoga, spinning class. Now, if they're in yoga, okay, those guys are probably straight, okay? They're there to get laid, all right? But if it was a spinning class, come on. Spinning class, how many straight guys do you know that spin? Okay, I don't know any, all right? I would never do that to meet women. You ain't gonna meet no women doing that, right? Fuck that shit. Okay, so that's going on. So yeah, of course you can't find someone, you know, spinning. All right, so Charlotte notices in the newspaper, she notices something, a huge wedding announcement, and she closes up the paper. Like, oh, okay, never mind. She tries to change the stuff, and they're like, hey, well, what'd you see? And then he's like, oh, nothing, it's nothing. So Samantha grabs the newspaper and opens it up, and sure enough, it's a huge fucking spread of Big and Natasha's wedding. Okay, so you know Carrie's just like, oh, yeah, like Big married Natasha. Carrie's heart just drops, and you can see it. Like, she's still not over him. I mean, she's been dating other guys. Like, what the fuck, Carrie? Like, how many more guys do you have to fuck before you get over this guy? You know? You don't have to forget him. But damn it, the world didn't fucking stop when you all broke up. You know, the world kept going. You know, from a guy's point of view, me personally, like, I've had my heart broken before. I have. You know? And it sucks when you hear that person that broke your heart is happy with somebody else. Yeah, it fucking hurts. It hurts really bad. But you know what's the best way to get over that? You know what the best way to get over that? Get laid. That's simple. Just go get fucking laid. Go meet another fucking girl if you have to. Get some fucking good ass fucking sex in you. And then you'll start to feel better about yourself. Unbelievable how that works. Whenever you hear guys that are crying about women that broke their heart 10 fucking years ago, 12 fucking years ago, you know, I keep thinking of that movie, Pretty in Pink, the one with Molly Ringwald. Remember how like the dad had to raise her by himself because the mom took off with some other guy when she was a little girl and never came back? And remember how fucking all the dad did was fucking cry about, oh, your mother. I miss your mother so much. I loved her. Like, that was like, what, fucking 15 years ago? Fuck, dude. You know why he's that way? Because he hasn't gotten laid. Because he hasn't fucked anyone else. That's why he's like that. He did that to himself. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm so fucking tired of that fucking narrative, you know? I see it so many times. You know, these fucking boys grow up watching these fucking chick flicks and they think the world's all about love and romance. And when they find out it's not, what do? They cry. It ain't never coming off. You know, what the fuck, man? Get over this shit, dude. Be a fucking man. Or at least be an adult, Carrie. Be an adult. Start fucking meeting other people. You know, oh yeah, so the fucking politician that work out, meet someone else. Meet someone else. You don't have to fuck all of them like you have been, but meet someone else. You know, find someone that's nice, someone that you like. Big is a fucking bar. You're never going to get there, okay? I've been saying this since I started this YouTube channel. Big is a guy who's just going to fuck you and then forget about you. That's the kind of guy he is because he can be that kind of guy. Because he's got enough women throwing themselves at him that he can afford to be that kind of guy. All right? You're not going to be his number one pick, Carrie. You are not going to be his number one pick. Okay? This is some fucking Cinderella Prince Charming bullshit going on this show. Okay? It's not fucking realistic at all. A guy like him will fuck you. A guy like that will not fall in love with you. Not in real life. Okay? So quit crying about him. Jesus Christ. Ah! Okay. Hey, straight man's point of view. All right. So here we go. Okay, so she knows that she gets her feelings hurt. Okay, and it's really funny. It's like for a bunch of women that were talking shit about men for the past like 5 minutes, how women, are better than men, and men all suck in bed, and men are this, men are that, and women have to give up her career, and and it's like, for women that are talking that way, they sure got hurt pretty fast. Like as soon as this picture opened up, it's like, and the girl's like, damn. The feminism went away just like that. Okay, moving right along. So Charlotte offers to stay with Carrie after they leave the restaurant. She's talking. And the reason Charlotte went there is to fucking swipe the newspaper because Carrie brought the newspaper back with her to her apartment. And Charlotte's like, no, I'm not going to leave you alone here with this newspaper. I know what you're going to do. You're going to fucking read it by yourself and you're going to hurt yourself. I'll just read it. Let's just read it together. Okay, which is a friend. That's something a friend would do. And I'm glad Charlotte did that. Okay, because she don't want to leave Carrie alone that way. Okay, that's a good friend right there. Not her best friend. Her best friend's Samantha, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, but so they're going on there, and they're reading about it. And Charlotte offers us to stay, like I said, because she's a good friend. They decide to read their wedding story. Carrie's like, she's reading about how they met, and Carrie's listening to them. Oh, they were doing this, and Carrie's like, no, you were fucking drunk, and he's rich. That's how you fucking met. Which makes a lot of sense. I can get with that. Okay, so she's rich. Okay, so that happens here. Big is not in the article. He played. That's what she complains about. It's like, everything here is about Natasha in this story. Nothing here is about Big. What about Big? I want to hear about Big. All right. And then the song that they played was When a Man Loves a Woman at the wedding. And then Carrie just like grabs herself because that's something Big would play because, his record collection. When a Man Loves a Woman, something Big would play. And so now she knows, okay, that was Big. So Big is in the article because that's definitely a song that Big would play. When a Man Loves a Woman, because he likes those old songs. Hey, I do too. His record collection. So that's going on here. Okay, just give me a moment, real quick here. Sorry, man. All right, that's much better there. Just getting a little too dark in here. I think the weather's changing. All right. So anyway, sorry about that interruption. Moving right along. So Carrie's crying. She hates Natasha. She absolutely hates Natasha. She's just letting it all out. She feels jealous. She feels intimidated. She feels like she doesn't measure up. And honestly, she feels like Big picked the better woman. And I think in a lot of ways he did. He did pick the better woman. If you wanted to go with what he wanted. Okay, now not everybody knows what they want. Okay, they have an idea. I have an idea of what I want. Women have ideas of what they want. But how often do we end up with what we want? Sometimes we end up with, a lot of times we end up with what we don't want. Sometimes we end up with what we do want, but that's not enough. And sometimes we end up with someone that we want, but we didn't know we wanted. And those are the best kind. Those are the fun ones. Okay, well, you didn't know you wanted that, but you realized that you did. Those are the best ones. And Carrie's afraid that basically Natasha's everything that Big wants, and that she's not. Although, of course, the narrative of this show is, but Carrie is what Big didn't know he wanted. Okay, and we find that out later on. Okay, which is basically the recipe for every chick flick. Okay, so that's going on here. Meanwhile, because Carrie's feeling sorry for herself, because like she's like, oh my God, they got a fucking. They got their whole like love story in the New York Times, and then she's like, and what about me? Look at my column. My column's right next to an ad for fucking penile implants. Okay, so she hates herself, very self-conscious, and I understand that, a lot of us feel low. We look at our lives, especially in our 30s, like what have we done with our lives? You know, what the fuck is this? This isn't what I want. This isn't how I saw it going. You know, but hey, that happens to everybody. That happens to everybody, or at least most people. You know, um, but I like to be on the philosophy that you are where you're supposed to be, always. You know that the man upstairs got a higher purpose. You know, not to get religious, but that's what I believe. Okay. So meanwhile, Miranda decides to hire a housekeeper, and this is when we first meet Magda, and Magda is, I know it breaks my heart now, but Magda's Ukrainian. She's from Ukraine. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna get political here or anything like that because, I don't really know what's going on over there. Okay, other than what the news tells us, you can't really trust the media. There is something I do know. Okay, I know damn well that all the celebrities, all the movie stars, or so-called movie stars, all the pop stars and the celebrities are telling me, to stand with Ukraine. That's what they're telling me to do. So I automatically now want to stand with Russia. Okay. There's something they're not telling us. Okay. There's a reason the media is all about like Ukraine forever. I'm standing with Ukraine. No, the fact that they're telling me that means I kind of don't want to stand for Ukraine. All right. Now I don't agree with what's happening with them because the bottom line is Ukraine, Russia doesn't fucking matter. Okay. It's the people. The people are innocent. I'm talking the people on both sides. They're innocent of all this shit. They don't deserve all this shit. Their leaders are making these decisions. They're not making these decisions. Those are the people that always suffer. It's the people that suffer, not the leaders. Not usually not. But anyway, that's another topic. But I bring it up because Magda's from Ukraine. So she's there. She's cleaned up. She's rearranging everything. And she's buying things for Miranda. I guess she's old school. Like woman stays home type. Husband works. The woman cooks. That kind of thing. And that's just not what Miranda is at all. Okay, she's a self-empowered woman who don't need no man. But she does need her vibrator and her dildos. And Magda finds those. Yeah, she finds them. And I was like, oh, God, because Magda's, Christian, And so, yeah, she rearranged everything. She gives her a roller, like you make pies with. And, like, Miranda doesn't know what the fuck to do with this. Like, I don't make pies. If I want a pie, I just fucking buy it. So she doesn't like it. Magda rearranged where her coffee is, and brought her some tea. And like, Miranda doesn't drink tea. She likes coffee. She likes her coffee and she likes her shit where it's supposed to be. She doesn't like the way the housekeeper is, how Magda's redecorating the whole fucking house and rearranging all of her stuff. She doesn't like it at all. So it pisses her off. And then she finds the vibrator and the dildo, and now all of a sudden she gets judgmental. Like, are you married? And she said, no, but I have a boyfriend. Oh, you need to get married. He's not going to marry you. He's not going to marry you if you got one of these big fucking Brutuses here. I know a woman once that named her dildo Brutus. Whoa, we ain't gonna talk about her though. Okay, not in this episode. All right, so anyway, she leaves her rolling pin to make some pies. Okay, so Miranda starts bitching about it to Carrie. They go to the boutique to try on dresses or something because that's what girls do. They're out shopping, and while Carrie is half dressed. They run into Natasha. Natasha, they're trying on this nice white dress. She's trying it on. Natasha's there. Carrie bumps into her because, like I said, New York is only one block. Everybody bumps into each other every episode. New York's not that big. Okay, there's maybe 100 people in New York. That's it, and they all know each other. So she bumps into Natasha at the boutique. Natasha tells her like, hey, I'm trying on a dress for the Women in Arts, event. That I'm a part of the steering committee and Carrie's like, oh yeah, I'm a member of that too. Women in Arts, yeah, I'm a part of that too. Yeah, me too. Not just you, just me too. But she's half dressed, so she feels self-conscious. So Natasha invites her to go. Oh, I go every year. Yeah, I'm part of that too. And of course, Miranda meets Natasha for the first time here. So she tries on the dress, and then she leaves, and Carrie's nervous. And she calls. When Carrie gets home to her apartment, she calls Samantha. Screaming basically, oh my God, I ran into Natasha at the fucking boutique. She invited me to this thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go. And Samantha's like, so you like, what does it matter? Why do you have to look so great? Because that's what Carrie's talking about. She wants to go to this event and just look fucking stunning, look better than Natasha, so that Natasha can feel bad about herself the way Carrie feels right now. And Samantha's like, that's a lot of work for a woman. And she's like, the women in the arts thing. And so Samantha finally says, okay, I'm going. She's like, what, you support women in the arts? She's like, no, but I support you. You know, someone's got to put these bitches in their place. Right there. I could kiss you, Samantha. See, that's a friend right there. Samantha knows what her friend's going through. She knows her history with Big. She knows that Carrie's trying to sound good, but she's really fucked up in the head. She's trying to do something stupid. She's trying to buy all this shit so that she can outdo Natasha and make Natasha feel self-conscious the way Carrie feels right now, you know, but she's not going to go there. She's going to say that, oh, no, I got to do this because I believe in the arts, you know, and it's important to me, you know, and blah, 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 you know, and wait till everyone gets a look at me, you know, I'm going to look better than her, you know. So she's still competing with Big. She's still competing. She's not with Big anymore, but she's still competing. She's still like trying to prove that she's the better woman. Immature? Yes, absolutely. And Samantha can see that. Carrie can't see it, but Samantha sees that. Oh my God, this woman's going to hurt herself. So she's, I'm going with you. You know, I'm going to go with you because she doesn't tell her that. She keeps her pride. She lets her keep her dignity. She doesn't tell her you're being fucking stupid. And I'm going to go with you to make sure you don't make a fool of yourself. She doesn't say that. She says, I'm going with you because someone's going to put these bitches in their place. In other words, I'm your fucking friend. I'm your wingman. I'm your backup. I'm not going to let you go in there alone. You know, and that's a fucking friend. I could just kiss you, Samantha. That's a friend. That's a true friend right there. You know, and the fact that Samantha's taking charge of this situation. Samantha's a fucking leader. I say it almost every episode. Samantha's a fucking leader. She's the one with the balls on the show, okay? She's the leader of this group, this quartet. She is the leader. Carrie's the main character, but Samantha's most definitely the leader of this troop, okay? Okay? She's the leader of this quartet, okay? So a leader says, you're not going in there without me. You know, someone's got to watch your ass. Someone's got to cover your 6 o'clock, you know? And that's a true friend, man. That's something, you know, that a guy would do too, you know, absolutely. So I got kiss you, Samantha, right there. All right, so now we get to the thesis of the episode. The thesis is, are there women in New York just there to make us feel bad about ourselves, okay? So it's a self-esteem thing. Okay, so Magda's there. Like I said, she's from the Ukraine. She is rearranging everything. She finds, like I said, she finds Miranda's goodie drawer with her dildo in there, or her vibrator, or whatever the fuck it is, okay? And she gets, you know, like, she goes, you know, she gets like offended or something. And of course, Miranda's embarrassed, but she tells her, hey, listen, this is my fucking shit. Don't touch my shit. That's my goodie drawer, you know? I got a vibrator. I drink coffee. I like to fuck. You know? I'm 34. I'm single. I live in New York. I don't need to fucking get married. I sure as fuck don't need your fucking Virgin Mary statue. She puts a Virgin Mary statue. She tries to jerk off later on. And she opens up her goodie drawer and her dildo ain't there. It's the Virgin Mary statue there Magda left for her. She's not even Christian. She don't even believe in God. She didn't know what the fuck that was. The Virgin Mary said, well, that's because she's not Catholic. So yeah, so she doesn't like the fact that Magda, not only is she rearranging everything, but she's acting judgmental. She's acting judgmental. Like, you're never going to get a husband if you keep, you know, sticking that up your twat, you know? Well, that's not what she says, but that's what she means, you know. And Miranda's just like, you know what? I don't need anybody here telling me that I need to make pies with a rolling pin, okay? I like coffee. I don't like tea, okay? I like to jerk off, okay? And I like to fuck. And if you can't understand that, I'll just find someone who can. You know? Okay. Good for you, Miranda. You tell your fucking, you know, your Ukrainian fucking housekeeper what to do. All right. And it's true. And she was being kind of rude, but, you know, Magda's got a good heart. We find out later on. She's actually a very grounded person. She's not into this whole flashy shit, the clothes, the shopping, the looking good, you know, the fucking have to outdo everybody, the name dropping, you know, the going to the parties, all that shit that these other women on the show do. She's not into that stuff. She's just a normal woman, you know, just trying to make a living, you know. So I got respect for her. Okay. So that goes on. Anyway, all the women go to the spa to go, you know, I guess to do the spa things, okay? And they all get naked in the steam room. Now, finally, some eye candy for me, okay? Some of these women in there look fucking good, all right? And full nudity, too. Oh, no bush, but they're all naked, okay? Thank God. Thank you. I know there's gay guys that making this show, but damn, thank you for giving us something to look at, okay? Because let me tell you, some of these women look really fucking good. Like, I had to pause the fucking DVD player, like, oh, damn, you know? Like, yeah, some of these women look really good. Okay, so yeah. Okay, we didn't see our quartet of women, we didn't see them naked. Okay, but we saw the other women that were in the steam room with him naked, so that was kind of cool. They're just walking around, naked, which is nice. I got nothing against. They all look good. I got nothing against that. That's good for me. I liked it. All right, I forgot what they were talking about, but I liked it. Okay, so they all go to the spa. Charlotte gets self-conscious. She doesn't want to fucking take off her towel. She won't take it off, and she finally just fucking gets the fuck out of there. Carrie, she's like, what's wrong? She's like, hey, there's something good about my body. You don't understand. My thighs are too fat. No, your thighs are not too fat. I don't look as perfect as you. Wow. Self-esteem issues. Damn, this whole episode is about that. Comparing themselves to other people. I'm not as good as you. I'm not as pretty as you. My thighs aren't as nice as yours, And that makes a lot of sense, I can understand that, but you gotta look where they are. They're in New York. They're single. They're in their 30s, they're trying to find guys. Yeah, what they look like is an important thing, the dieting and all that stuff, Okay, so so that's going on there. Later on, Carrie and Charlotte are having lunch, and Carrie just spent a lot of money shopping, and she buys these new Manolo Blahniks. You want to look at it? They're green. Look at these. Look, hey, you know what? Okay. There's way too much estrogen. This goes on for the next 3 minutes. Okay, about the shopping. I don't give a fuck about the shopping. I don't know what these stores are. I don't care about the shoes. I don't care if they go with your eyes. I don't care if they go with your outfit. I don't care if they go with your hair. I don't give two fucking shits about this stuff. Okay, I'm a guy. Okay, so I just put my mind at rest during this stuff. Then I get back. What are you talking about? Let me pay attention to what you're talking about, because this is all just nonsense. Okay, I mean, this is just for me. I'm sorry. I know it's not nonsense, but for me, it's just like, okay, come on. I know I'm not the target audience, okay? They're talking about shoes. They're talking about shopping. They're talking about stores. When do you get back to the drama? Okay, you're back? Okay, fine. Okay, so it turns out that Charlotte is starving herself. She's ordering like a little bit of fruit for lunch because she thinks she's fat. And goes, Carrie tells her, you're not fat. There's nothing wrong with the way you look. You look great. The problem isn't your thighs. The problem is in your head. Exactly. And that's what Charlotte's trying to tell her too. The problem isn't with you. The problem is in your head. Okay? And I got to tell you, this was heartbreaking right here. But Carrie started talking about her clothes again. Talks about this dress that costs the same amount as a month of her rent. And once she gets to this event, the Women in Arts event, and she's wearing that dress and she's wearing those shoes. And once she looks that fabulous, that all that anxiety she has, all that about Natasha is just going to go away. And, I got a little emotional there because I know people like this in my family, in my life, my personal life, Everything's fucked up around their lives, but they just focus on one tiny little thing. Once this little thing is good, all that's going to go away. And it's not. So for me, seeing her act that way, I can see someone who's suffering in silence. Someone who's just in so much pain that they got to make believe that everything's okay. That it's not, no, everything's good. It's just this one little thing that I got to do, but everything else is good. It's not, I feel bad for people like that. I really do. So, she's got self-esteem issues too. And Charlotte tells her, hey, speak for yourself. You gotta, you're not a terrible person. You're funny. You're beautiful. You're smart, and Carrie tells her the same thing. Why don't you try to use those words on yourself? Quit fascinating over your thighs. So Charlotte ends up going back to the spa by herself this time. And when she takes off her clothes, but she's actually got clothes on. You can tell it was a cameraman's mistake, but you can tell when she takes off the towel, there's you can see a little bit of her top there. So she's covered, okay? But it's supposed to make it look like she's naked. And another woman notices her tits and compliments. I wish I'd kill for tits like yours. And she starts feeling better about herself. Well, hey, you know what? In my opinion, Charlotte's the best looking girl on the show, but her tits aren't that great. Hey, straight man's point of view. All right. Samantha goes to the event. What do you call it? They go to a massage parlor. During the masseuse, Samantha thinks the masseuse is going to fuck her. So she grabs his crotch. He does not fuck her. She actually gets kicked out of the spa. And he gets fired because it turns out he actually did fuck a bunch of women in there. Okay. what do you call it? So Carrie goes to the event, the Women in Arts. Natasha's not there, but Samantha decides to stay, get their drinks. So they talk to the other people there. Samantha finds a girl that went to college with Natasha. Says, yeah, when I went to college with her, she once was in the shower with a guy, and she gained like 10 pounds in the summer. And that's supposed to make fucking Carrie feel better about herself. I guess it was supposed to, but it doesn't. That was pretty low. I mean, the fact that Samantha walked around the room, tried to find someone that knew Natasha, tried to find something bad about Natasha, so that she could tell that to Carrie. That's pretty low. It's pretty bad. But it's a test of a good friend. But it's very petty, very immature. And Carrie realized she has nothing in common. She doesn't want to volunteer. She doesn't want to write about women in art. She doesn't want to fucking raise any money. She doesn't want to do anything. She wants nothing to do with this shit. She just wanted to show off her dress, which is a nice dress, and her shoes and her hair to Natasha, who Natasha was sick, so Natasha didn't even show up to this thing. So they end up fucking leaving. Okay, on their way out, they meet a woman, the woman that told Samantha that the masseuse guy, Kevin, fucks the girls, or eats them out. the one that Samantha got in trouble for, got kicked out of. Well, she tells her, oh, that's the bitch that got Kevin fired. And all the women were like, oh, who the fuck am I supposed to fuck now? So apparently Kevin was very popular at that masseuse. Which, come on, it's just dumb. That's just dumb. Makes me want to be a masseuse now. Okay, so that's going on. They end up leaving. Finally, what do you call it? Carrie comes home. She gets a letter. She doesn't know what to do because she didn't get to show off in front of Natasha. It's college together. Natasha says, okay. What do you call? Carrie gets back home. Like I said, she missed Natasha. She gets a letter in the mail later on. It's an apology note from Natasha apologizing for not showing up at the event because she got sick. And she misspelled there. She spelled it like Thier, and you're supposed to spell it Their. And so Carrie, of course, is a writer. She catches grammatical errors like that all the time in her own work. So she realized, oh my God, Natasha can't spell. She's not perfect after all. She's not, flawless. There is something that I can do better than her. And that makes Carrie feel better about herself. So she immediately calls Miranda and tells her that, hey, you know what? You won't believe this, but Natasha's an idiot. She can't even fucking spell. So yeah, that's quite a message there. Put someone else down to make yourself feel better. I know we all do it, but it's not a positive thing. At least nowhere, at least a lot of pain. Okay? You can't compare yourself to other people. Okay? You got to be who you are. Okay? You are the only you that's ever going to exist in reality is you. The one right now. The one that you are, you're the only you that's ever going to exist. So no one can ever be you. It's impossible for anyone else to be you. Only you can be you. That's what you have that no one else has. Or no one else has ever had, or no one else ever will have, is you. Okay? You are one in a fucking infinity. Okay? You got to remember that. All right? You are special. Everyone is special in their own way. Okay? And there's only one of anyone. All right? So there's the message you should be taking from this episode. Not fucking let's put this bitch down so I can feel better about myself. Okay, so that was this episode 3. Thank you for watching this long, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.